Most zodiac couples slowly lose interest in each other. Libra and Aries usually do the opposite. They hurt each other, exhaust each other, walk away from each other, and somehow still think about each other months later at 2 a.m. like a song they never fully stopped hearing. This is one of the few relationships where attraction and emotional damage can exist in the same room at the same time. Aries enters the connection wanting honesty, intensity, movement. Libra enters wanting harmony, affection, emotional balance. In the beginning, it feels perfect. Aries feels admired. Libra feels chosen. The chemistry feels immediate and strangely personal. But Libra and Aries compatibility becomes complicated the moment real emotions replace attraction, because this relationship does not stay on the surface for long. Aries starts noticing Libra avoids conflict instead of confronting it. Libra starts realizing Aries treats emotional reactions like battles that need to be won quickly. What first felt exciting slowly becomes emotionally consuming, and that is exactly why Aries and Libra are attracted to each other. Each person activates something unresolved inside the other. Not just desire, not just chemistry, but emotional patterns both people thought they had under control until this relationship exposed them. The strange thing about Libra and Aries compatibility is how quickly it becomes personal. Most people describe the beginning the same way. One conversation suddenly turns intense. Eye contact lingers too long. Both people leave pretending it meant nothing while replaying every detail later that night. Aries usually notices Libra first, not because Libra is loud, but because Libra carries emotional presence naturally. Calm, attractive, socially aware. Even in a crowded room, Libra often looks emotionally composed while everyone else feels noisy. Aries is drawn to that immediately. Aries lives through instinct and momentum, fast attraction, fast decisions, fast reactions. Libra feels different because Libra does not reveal everything instantly. Aries reads that restraint as depth. At the same time, Libra is fascinated by Aries, because Aries says what Libra spends hours thinking about privately. Aries acts while Libra is still analyzing possibilities. That confidence feels magnetic to Libra at first. This creates the first emotional imbalance in the relationship. Both people become attached to what the other represents psychologically. Aries feels calmer around Libra, more emotionally understood. Libra feels more alive around Aries, less trapped inside overthinking. At first, this dynamic feels healthy. That is why Libra and Aries compatibility often begins with chemistry before emotional understanding. The attraction arrives long before either person fully understands the other emotionally. And this is where many people misunderstand the connection. They assume strong attraction means strong compatibility, but attraction is not stability. Sometimes intense attraction happens because two people trigger each other's emotional gaps perfectly. Aries carries frustration toward emotional hesitation. Libra carries frustration toward emotional pressure. In the beginning, these differences feel exciting. Later, they become exhausting. You can already see it in small moments. Aries sends a direct message. Libra rewrites the reply 3 times before responding. Libra notices emotional tension and tries to soften it. Aries notices the same tension and wants to confront it immediately. Neither reaction is fully wrong, but both people slowly begin feeling misunderstood without realizing it yet. And the difficult part is this: the chemistry remains strong while the misunderstandings quietly grow underneath everything else. That is why Aries and Libra are attracted to each other even after conflict starts. Sometimes the friction increases the attraction instead of weakening it. For a while, both people mistake emotional intensity for compatibility. Then reality finally enters the relationship. This relationship usually starts becoming unstable long before either person admits something is wrong. Not because attraction disappears, because the way Aries and Libra handle emotions slowly begins clashing underneath the chemistry. Aries approaches emotional tension directly. If something feels wrong, Aries wants to address it immediately. Waiting feels unbearable. Silence feels suspicious. Libra works differently. Libra needs time before speaking clearly. They process internally first. They replay conversations, mentally analyze tone, and think carefully before reacting emotionally. By the time Libra feels ready to talk calmly, Aries already feels emotionally shut out. This is where Libra and Aries compatibility becomes draining. Both people believe they are trying to protect the relationship, but they are using opposite emotional strategies. Aries believes honesty creates closeness. Libra believes emotional control preserves closeness. So the same arguments repeat in different forms. Aries says, "Why didn't you just tell me?" Libra thinks, "Why does every problem need to become so intense?" Neither person fully understands the emotional logic of the other. And over time, misunderstandings become personal. Aries starts seeing Libra as emotionally evasive. Libra starts seeing Aries as emotionally overwhelming. You can see it in everyday situations. An unanswered message feels disrespectful to Aries. A sharp emotional reaction feels destabilizing to Libra. Aries raises intensity, trying to force clarity. Libra lowers emotional visibility, trying to prevent escalation. Both reactions accidentally trigger each other more. That is why some Aries and Libra relationships begin feeling emotionally competitive after the honeymoon phase. Who apologizes first? Who cares more? Who pulls away first? Who controls the emotional atmosphere? And the hardest part is that both people usually believe they are the emotionally mature one. Aries thinks, "At least I'm honest." Libra thinks, "At least I'm not destructive." But honesty without emotional control can become aggression. And peacekeeping without honesty can become emotional manipulation. That is the hidden tension inside Libra and Aries compatibility most people never talk about. This relationship exposes emotional habits both people thought were normal before meeting each other. Aries learns that intensity alone does not create emotional safety. Libra learns that avoiding discomfort does not prevent damage. And once resentment quietly enters the relationship, even affection starts feeling unstable. Because now every silence means something. Every delayed response feels loaded. Every argument carries emotional history inside it. And that is usually the moment both people realize this connection is affecting them far more deeply than they expected. One reason why Aries and Libra are attracted to each other so intensely is because this relationship operates on emotional polarity from the beginning. Libra is ruled by Venus. Aries is ruled by Mars. Even people who know nothing about astrology usually feel that difference immediately. Libra naturally focuses on connection, emotional atmosphere, and harmony. Aries focuses on momentum, instinct, and direct action. At first, these energies balance each other beautifully. Libra softens Aries. Aries strengthens Libra. Aries pushes Libra out of hesitation. Libra teaches Aries to slow down emotionally. The chemistry feels powerful because both people temporarily experience qualities they secretly struggle to create alone. That is why Libra and Aries compatibility often feels emotionally consuming instead of casual. The attraction forms before emotional stability does, but polarity becomes difficult when emotional maturity is missing. Because eventually Venus and Mars stop complementing each other and start pulling against each other. Libra begins feeling emotionally pressured. Aries begins feeling emotionally restricted. The same traits that once created attraction now create frustration. Aries wonders, why is everything so complicated? Libra wonders, why does every disagreement feel like a battle? The emotional pacing becomes the biggest issue. Aries wants answers immediately. Libra needs emotional balance before responding clearly. This creates a cycle where Aries pushes harder while Libra retreats inward. The more Libra withdraws, the more ignored Aries feels. The more Aries intensifies emotionally, the more unsafe Libra feels opening up honestly. This dynamic becomes especially strong during intimacy, because intimacy between Aries and Libra often contains contradiction. Affection mixed with tension, desire mixed with defensiveness, closeness mixed with fear of losing control. That is why many people describe this connection as impossible to forget even after separation. The relationship activates emotional layers both people usually keep hidden. Aries feels emotionally exposed around Libra in unexpected ways. Libra feels emotionally awakened around Aries in ways that feel difficult to regulate. And when both people are unhealthy, this easily turns into emotional dependency disguised as passion. Some Libra and Aries couples stop measuring compatibility through peace and start measuring it through emotional intensity instead. The relationship feels important because it feels overwhelming. But emotional overwhelm is not always love. Sometimes it is unresolved attachment meeting unresolved attachment. If this dynamic feels familiar, write yes in the comments, because this is the part many people avoid admitting. Some Aries and Libra relationships become addictive precisely because they never fully stabilize emotionally. The inconsistency creates anticipation. The anticipation creates obsession. An obsession keeps both people emotionally attached long after logic says the relationship should calm down. The most confusing part of Libra and Aries compatibility is not the attraction, it is the repetition. The same arguments, the same emotional reactions, the same breakup that somehow never feels fully finished. This relationship often falls into a cycle both people struggle to escape. One person reaches emotional exhaustion first, usually Libra after prolonged tension or Aries after feeling emotionally ignored for too long. The relationship explodes. One person leaves dramatically. Then silence enters, and silence affects both people differently. Aries experiences silence as rejection. Libra experiences silence as emotional recovery. But even while separated, the emotional connection usually remains active underneath everything else. That is why Aries and Libra are attracted to each other even after painful conflict. The emotional imprint stays unusually strong. Both people continue replaying conversations long after the relationship supposedly ended. Aries replays the anger. Libra replays the disappointment. Neither fully lets go emotionally. And eventually, one small interaction pulls them back together again. A late night message, a social media view, an unexpected conversation that suddenly becomes emotionally charged within minutes. The cycle restarts because neither person solved the emotional pattern underneath the attraction. This is where the relationship becomes dangerous if both people lack self-awareness. Because intensity starts replacing compatibility as the standard. The relationship feels meaningful because it creates strong emotions, but emotional intensity alone cannot sustain trust or emotional safety long term. Some Libra and Aries relationships survive entirely on chemistry and anticipation. The highs feel incredible, the lows feel exhausting, and both people slowly become attached to the emotional roller coaster itself. You can see it clearly in unhealthy patterns. Aries threatens to leave during conflict to regain emotional control. Libra withdraws emotionally to avoid escalation. Aries interprets distance as manipulation. Libra interprets confrontation as emotional chaos. Neither reaction solves the actual problem. Both reactions only deepen insecurity. Jealousy also becomes a major trigger. Aries wants reassurance but hates appearing vulnerable. Libra wants consistency but struggles to state emotional needs directly until resentment already exists. That is why Libra and Aries compatibility can feel addictive and emotionally draining at the same time. Even after separation, future partners are often compared against this connection unfairly, not because the relationship was always healthy, but because it activated emotional intensity neither person easily forgets. But this is the truth many people avoid admitting. Intensity can imitate destiny. Some people confuse emotional unpredictability with passion. Some confuse emotional suffering with depth. And some stay attached simply because the relationship became psychologically familiar. The cycle only changes when one person finally stops reacting from fear. The relationship changes once Libra and Aries stop trying to win every emotional moment. Because beneath the attraction and conflict, this connection forces both people to confront themselves. Aries must confront impulsiveness. Libra must confront avoidance. Until that happens, the relationship keeps repeating the same emotional patterns in different forms. This is why Libra and Aries compatibility improves dramatically when both people stop focusing on who is right and start paying attention to what their reactions are, protecting emotionally. Aries often reacts quickly because uncertainty feels threatening. Emotional distance feels unbearable. So Aries pushes harder for reassurance, clarity, or answers. But underneath that urgency is fear. Fear of rejection, fear of losing emotional importance, fear of not being fully chosen. Libra struggles differently. Conflict feels emotionally heavy for Libra, so instead of addressing tension directly, Libra often delays difficult conversations or softens emotions too much. But avoidance creates damage too. What Libra calls preserving peace, Aries experiences as emotional dishonesty. And what Aries calls honesty, Libra experiences as emotional aggression. That is why this relationship only becomes healthy after both people learn emotional restraint in different ways. Aries learns that emotional intensity is not always emotional truth. Libra learns that silence does not automatically create harmony. Once both people become more self-aware, the dynamic changes. Arguments become calmer. Communication becomes clearer. Libra becomes more direct about emotional needs. Aries becomes less reactive during emotional discomfort. That is the hidden potential inside Libra and Aries compatibility most people never reach. Not endless passion, not emotional chaos. Emotional honesty with emotional balance. Aries stops confusing urgency with love. Libra stops confusing peace with emotional health. And if both people truly evolve, this relationship becomes strong, not because they stop triggering each other, but because they finally understand what those triggers were trying to reveal. Not every intense relationship is meant to last forever. Some relationships enter your life to comfort you. Libra and Aries usually enter to change you. That is why Libra and Aries compatibility feels unforgettable for so many people. This connection forces both people to confront emotional patterns they were able to avoid in other relationships. Aries learns that love cannot survive on intensity alone. Libra learns that avoiding discomfort slowly destroys intimacy too. Sometimes this relationship becomes healthy after both people mature emotionally. Sometimes the lesson matters more than the outcome. But either way, the connection leaves both people different from who they were before it began. Maybe that was always the real purpose of it. Not perfection, transformation. Because some people are not sent into your life to stay comfortable forever. Some are sent to expose the parts of you that still need healing. Write this in the comments. I choose love without losing myself. And if this video gave words to something you have been feeling for a long time, subscribe and stay close. There are some connections the soul does not forget easily.